Welcome to the 2025 Mineral Resources Review here at the Delta Hotel. This year's Thought Leadership Day is sponsored by Maritime Resources and is powered by Gale Force Winds. So I have here with me this afternoon Trevor. So Trevor, tell us, introduce yourself first. Why don't you do that?
Yeah, so my name is Trevor Budgell. I'm Operations Manager with Nuna Group. Nuna is a indigenous, 51% owned indigenous company out of Cambridge Bay. We have a head office in Edmonton, and that's where I'm based out of.
Okay, so tell us a bit more about what Nuna does, Trevor, and how it applies to you being here at the Mineral Resource Review.
So we're a mining contractor. So obviously we chase mines all over Canada. I think the footnotes of Nuna started in the early days in the 90s, primarily in the diamond mines up north, and we do a lot of specialize in the ice road construction. So remote sites and access to remote sites, getting materials in and out, and then early development, and some of the sites that we go on, we've been there, from the early stages and been there for 25, 30 years. Providing support from site services groups to contract mining, dam construction, tailings dams, roads, HERC runways, just about anything that the mine themselves would contract out, we're actively seeking. And so the early days for us was in the north, and in the last 10 years has been a focus that's spreading more across Canada, doing work in Ontario and BC and Yukon.
Interesting. Well, you kind of got me with the ice road, okay? So yeah. I'm visualizing the movie Ice Road and Liam Neeson, so you don't do that.
Well, that's basically us there in a nutshell. Yeah, we're building the ice roads, but yeah, and you see, I'm sure you've watched the program Ice Road Truckers and stuff, and you'll see Nuna employees all over that. You may not know that that's employees, but yeah, it's Nuna employees all over that. We build the ice road and maintain the ice road for the last 20 years in the Arctic.
Very interesting. Excellent. And so now you're spreading more east, I guess, and the purpose of being here this week is to see what's happening in the mining space in Newfoundland and Labrador? Yeah,
so I'm from Newfoundland. I'm from Bishop Falls originally, so it's home to me, but I live in Edmonton as the operations manager for Nuna. So there's always a little bit more incentive for me to try to get some work out here and can make some visits back this way. But just in the, I think in the mining world, there's more and more hype around Newfoundland right now. There's a lot of excitement, and Nuna's curious and checking things out. This is our first year in this mining show. Last year was our first year being awarded a contract in Yukon, and that was the last territory for us. And this would be a new province, so we're kind of like new to the province, but we also employ, I wouldn't know the numbers, but a lot of our employees that travel and do remote work to and from Newfoundland, Gander, St. John's, Deer Lake, flying in and out. So we have a large number of employees from Newfoundland, and so if we were able to get a project here, I think it'd be a good opportunity for people to work from home and still work for the same company that they worked for, some of them for 20 years.
That's pretty amazing. How many employees does Nuna? I'm not sure it varies with projects.
It varies.
But in general, what
sometimes we have a mega project, and when we get a mega project going along with the other stuff, we could have maybe 2,000-3,000 employees, and then on the slower years when there's no mega project and we're still doing the kind of contracts that we typically see every other year, could be anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 employees going around the country for Nuna.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, Trevor. Well, I think you'll find this event very good this week. The attendance is very high. I think the numbers are up to where they were last year. I'm hearing 1,000 or so, which is really good for this conference. And you will have all of the main players and many of the supply service and supply companies and whatnot here as well. So I hope you have a great week, and I hope you make lots of connections, and I certainly hope you're forthcoming and obtaining some work here in Newfoundland so that the Newfoundland and Labrador employees can work a little closer to home.
Yeah, and I mean, Nuna is famous for its partnerships, you know, and working with locals, and that's kind of what we're looking for. And you know, I think this is our first year here. We don't have a booth this year. Myself and another employee will be walking the floor so we can try to see as many as we can, and then hopefully next year we can get set up and be a regular.
Amazing. And I know they always put off a lot of good updates and talks as well, so you can get a sense of what's happening in the mining industry. But again, there's a lot of mining in Newfoundland and Labrador, so enjoy your week.
Thank you.
I hope you have a lot of great chats, and we'll see you here throughout the week.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.